What the hell is wrong with the educational system? I mean, come on. If it's a requirement for kids and they don't even want to go to it, there must be something seriously wrong with it. I mean, come on. I'm a junior this year. 11th grade. Gonna graduate in 2 years. And I feel like I'm well within my good age length period to be able to gripe about school. I mean, I've already gone through 11 years of it. I've had Mrs. Nagel for 2 years. I'm ready to get my opinions out there. Honest opinions. And my first honest opinion is, what in the world are you doing making it this frickin' long? Why? There is no reason for us to have to go to school for 13 years. That is not necessary, okay? See, my gripe with the public educational system is that the first 7 years, I'm counting kindergarten as an actual grade here, because it's part of the educational system. I'd count preschool too, but I didn't have to go to preschool, so I'm not going to count it. Why? Why do we have to go for that long? My problem is that the first 7 years that you're there, it's the slowest. It sucks being a smart child prodigy in the first 7 years of your educational career, because it just drags so much. You go over the same stuff over and over and over and over again, and there's always that one frickin' kid that never gets it, and you have to do it all over again next week. You review for hours and hours, and they just never get it. And that's my gripe with the public educational system, is that it's so unbalanced with the mental development of all kids. I mean, you get everyone. It's a combination of everyone. And to me, well, this really isn't where I'm trying to go here, but I'm not trying to go here with what I want to do. I'm going to go with what the government wants to do, which is stupid, but still, I'm going to go with it later on. But if I ran the public educational systems, the starting year, I'd base it off of age. Then you'd go through the ranks, you'd go through everything, and then at the end of that year, you take a test. It's like a 100-question test. That seems ominous, but just get where I'm going with this. If you don't score well, you go through a couple more years of school than what other kids that scored good do. And I mean, you would touch on a lot of stuff, and it would start in the age that I'm going to want the school systems to start out at. 8. And then you take that test and you'd decide exactly where you're going to be placed. And then you'd go through however many years that they want you to. And then after the end of the 2-year period, you take another test and see if you need to come back for more or be able to jump ahead, so you have to do less. That is an outline for how I would want the educational system to go if I ran this country. Thank goodness I don't run this country. Now, if I were to go by how the government wants us to do it now, by age, then you know how some kids, 4 years old, go into preschool. That's how early they send these motherfuckers out there. 4 years. I mean, not even a year before they couldn't fucking use the goddamn toilet a year before, and they're already going off to get educated. And it doesn't help that studies have proven that you learn the most of what you learn in the first 2 years of your life. So you get 1 year of fun after that, and then you're right back to learn. Bullshit, I tell you, bullshit. And it's so fucking slow paced for those first 7 years. Then you get into junior high and it starts picking up a little, and you're like, okay, this is pretty good, it's pretty well paced. But then freshman years come around, and then it's just boom, one thing after the other, boom, 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 assignment after assignment after assignment after assignment after assignment after assignment. I actually have a journal here. It's the Diary of a Wimpy Kid Do-It-Yourself book. Freshman year, I wrote down something in here. Where the hell is it? Okay, September 21st, 2011, was it? I wrote down a year as a... Yes, it is. 2011. September 21st, 2011. Kamikaze writes, I take back what I said on May 19th. That's the day that I got out of junior high. This is just like before, but just more shit that accomplishes less than last year. The more shit we do, the more shit we become. So piling on shit on an already shitty pile of shit makes the shitty shit pile shittier than shit. High school solves nothing. And that's the rant of an angry 14-year-old. And I gotta say, I kind of agree with it still. It's just so fucking fast-paced out of nowhere. I mean, sometimes you remember that first week of school back when you were in 6th grade? You really eased into things pretty slowly, and you got one assignment in a single class every day, and then it wouldn't be due for months. Seriously. And then when you get into freshman year, you're getting assignments on the very first day. I mean, that's offensively hurtful to your what's the word I'm looking for? Your notions of the previousness, your pre-notions. And, it can really take you by surprise. I mean, it took me by surprise hardcore in 9th grade. I was failing science. I had a D in English. I had a B in math, so and yeah. And it was just like that. I mean, I got it covered last year in sophomore. I mean, the only class that I was failing was the one that I was expecting to fail, so that was good. Let me put this back before I fucking read through more of it, and you have to hear the ramblings of past me. Who wants to care about past me? Oh man, I've already been ranting for 8 minutes, and I haven't even gotten to what I wanted to get to yet. Damn! You can tell this is going to be one long video. Hope you're ready to sit through something special. So what I think should happen is that school should be shortened. Elementary school should be shortened. In college, I haven't gotten to it yet, so I don't know if 2 years for a lower degree or 4 years for a decent degree. I don't know. I don't know that yet. I'll find out whenever the hell I graduate. And I want to rant about college tuitions later. For now, we shall stay in the early years. What everyone says is the easiest part of your life. You forget how fucking unbelievably bad your life was when you get a little bit more shit piled on. Because I remember back in 1st grade, 2nd grade, I still kind of like school in 1st grade. But kindergarten, you did a whole bunch of fun stuff. You bounced up and down the walls and did nothing of productivity at all. And it was fun. You wanted to go back next year. Then when you got back next year, it's like, we're actually doing work? Ugh. And you started faking sickness to get out of it and playing NASCAR the game 2005. If it was NASCAR the game 2005, it would have sucked. I'm sorry. Oh, that's a different rant. So back in 2nd grade, I personally thought that school was fucking atrocious. It was so bad. The people that I coexisted with were awful. I mean, they were the most... Girls beat me up. Girls! They're looked down in society. There's feminist groups saying that men put themselves above women, and women were beating the shit out of me when I was in 2nd grade. So yeah, everyone was assholes back then, and I hated it. I fucking did everything in my power to try to get out. I mean, one time, I remember my mother driving past the way to turn into school on her way to work, and I just sat quietly in the back because I was like, yep, My mom was at work, and I got out and we got into the building. About 10 minutes later, she realizes we were supposed to be at the school, and I kept quiet the whole time about it. So that's how much I hated it. I did everything in my power to get out of it. That's how much I fucking hated it. Then I moved to Spearfish, South Dakota in 3rd grade, and everyone that I hated suddenly liked me. I mean, everyone that hated me suddenly liked me and wanted to give me goodbye hugs. In fact, I have a little going away poster right there. Here, let me go grab that. God damn it, this is turning into this more or less show and tell rather than a rant. Fuck me. And there goes the mic stand as always. See, back when you were in really young elementary years, sometimes someone would move out and you get to do a little on a piece of paper. You write your name down in a little class picture and you say goodbye. Well, this is like the highest of honors that anyone could possibly get. The badass, big-ass, bulletin board framed picture of everyone signing their names. Okay, so let's see here. Nope. He liked me. I don't recognize half these people. Fuck it, they all hated me. Let me get to what I was actually going to talk about in the first place. My rant on how the educational system should be changed. Now, I think that you should only be in school for 10 years. Fuck kindergarten. Get that shit out of here. You only need grades 1 through 10. That is 3 less years. And the pace picks up a little. So, you can easily find the ones that are straggling. The people that do know their shit can move right along, and the people in the middle can get all the help they need. Right now, the problem with the educational system, in my opinion, is that the people that could really get ahead are forced to hang back because of the people in back that are having so much trouble. Now, if we were able to move things right along at a faster pace, they could move right along. The people in the middle could get as much help as they needed, and the stragglers could get the even more personal level problems that they needed to deal with. That is what I think needs to be changed. We don't need to go to school for this fucking long. And you know why kids hate school? They hate it because they're told to go there. They're forced. No ifs, no buts. Fucking go. Fucking go. And you can drop out way later when you know that you need to stay in, or else your life will become fucking balls. But you're not told that. You're not told that when you're a kid. Oh no, you're told to stay in school. Stay in school. Just stay in school and you'll do fine. Why? Why should I stay in school? Why should you care if I do fine? What if I don't do fine? What if I'm a straggler? What if I don't fucking know? Screensaver just came on. That is why it needs to be explained why you need to go. Well, if you go, you'll get a good career. You get a possibility of getting a good career. You'll get a big old diploma. That'll be fun. You'll be recognized well in society. You'll get a whole lot of friends and higher-ups. That's good reasoning, right? Kids will never listen to that. They don't give a shit. They want to party. They want to have fun. And that is why kindergarten is so fucking pointless. It gives you the idea that you're gonna have fun in school. While when you immediately go into the next grade, fun stops. It just fucking hits the parking brake. Bye-bye fucking fun. Kids won't listen to that, but if you give them a little time for them to have an attention span longer than fucking Justin Bieber's dick, okay? If you wait until then explain, well, here's why you need to go to school. Here's why you need to do your homework. Because if you do your homework, then it's a lot more likely that come test day, you'll be able to know the content. Well, the problem is is that you really don't not know. What I'm trying to say is that there's no smart or dumb in this world. There is only people with working brains, okay? Who push their brains, who push to understand why, who push to figure things out using more than just the assistance of their fucking teacher. And those are the people that get ahead. The stragglers, they're off in fucking la la land. They are daydreaming in class like, gonna own some noobs on Call of Duty tonight. I play video games. I have an LP channel that I'm posting this on right now. I play video games for a living. Well, I'm working to do that, but fucking enough about what I want. It's what you want and you need. And that's an education. And there's no smart and no dumb. Because of your brain, and let me tell you why. Because if you do your homework, then it's a lot more likely that come test day, you'll be able to know the content. Why? Because your brain's making connections every time you do a problem. And each time that you do the problem, that same connection is being met. And every time that you're correct and you understand, your brain's like, okay, that's good, we'll keep this connection. And then every time you do that problem, that connection gets stronger and stronger and stronger until soon it becomes a memory and you understand how to do it. And that's why you need homework, so that you can put that shit together. Why can't we just do it at school? Why can't we just do homework at school? Why do we have to bring it home? Why? Because if what you're saying is true, then if we do our work at school, then those connections will be made and they'll be all strong and stuff. So why do we need to bring it home? Why? Here's why. When you sleep, your brain goes through all your memories. It goes through your long-term memories, it goes through your short-term memories, and it goes through recent memories. Short-term memories are, well, recent is self-explanatory. Short-term memories are things like stuff that you can remember, but it's not important. Like what you had for lunch yesterday. What did you have for lunch yesterday? Go ahead, type in the comments box what you had for lunch yesterday. Done typing? Good job. Now, what did you have for lunch last week Thursday? You remember? If you do, then you have some kind of good memory. Gotta applaud you. Or maybe you just had a big fun dinner. Maybe you just had a good dinner. Maybe you had some fun. Maybe it was Christmas. Who the hell knows? But would you remember if it was just any other random day? That's what short-term memory is. And when you're sleeping, those short-term memories, your brain goes through those short-term memories and thinks, okay, do I need to know this, or can I forget it? And it determines this by looking at the strength of those connections. So, say you're doing your homework and you're going through all those math problems and you're doing the same equation over and over and that connection gets stronger and stronger. When you're sleeping, that memory is noted. It's got a whole lot of connections. It's going into long-term memory. And soon you'll have it memorized. But you're just thinking about maybe not even 4 times a day what you had for lunch the previous day. So the connections aren't going to be that strong because the connections weren't made so often. And sorry, I just ate. And basically, they'll think, okay, you don't really need that. I mean, the connection isn't strong at all. Looks like it doesn't matter. Just throw that out. And the reason that you want to do this at home is because it's probably going to be right before you go to sleep. So it can immediately decide whether or not you need it, because time wouldn't have gone on and you wouldn't have had time to, for those connections to weaken, or for those connections to not be accessed so often. Because if that one memory is being accessed so often, it's likely that immediately as you go to sleep, and it immediately registers, and it sees that it's been used over and over and over in such a short period of time, and so recently, it's going to want to be a long-term memory. Experiment this yourself. Go find a random song on the internet. You don't have to do that today. You can do this tomorrow, but don't forget. Go on the internet, find a random song that you've never heard before. Something by your favorite band that you possibly might even like. Find its lyrics. Now play the song over and over and over, reading the lyrics over and over and over, right before you go to bed. Then, when you wake up the next morning, try and recite the song, verbatim, in your memory. See how well you do. Now, that very same morning, look up another song. Any song. Do the same thing, only this early in the morning. Then go through your system. Go through your everyday life, come back, go to sleep. In the morning, try and recite that song verbatim. And it's a lot less likely that you'll be able to do it, because it wasn't right before you went to sleep, and those connections might have been lost over the day. And that's why sleep's so important. Now, you might be saying, oh, come on, Kamikaze, you said at the start of this video that you're just a junior in high school. Why should I believe anything you say? That's a really good question. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. That's why you need to experiment for yourself. And I'm sorry if I'm blushing right now. I have high blood pressure and that shit happens all the time. Try yourself. Just disregard everything that's telling you to stop listening to this stupid kid. He doesn't know what he's saying. Just try it. And you'd be surprised at what happens. I mean, that gave me inspiration to actually do homework. But now I'm just rambling. Getting back to what I came for. That's the reason why I believe that it should start so much later. That school should begin for children so much later than it does now. 3 whole years later. And I think it would be beneficial to everyone. We don't need this much education. Because, when you get to that point in your life, when you're graduating, you know if you want to go to college or not. You know what you want to do in your life. Maybe, maybe not. And you don't need 3 extra years before that even matters to you to figure that kind of thing out. I mean, what 5-year-old is going to know what he wants to do? I mean, sure, he's going to say, I want to be a garbage man, or I want to be a firefighter, I want to be a pilot. And then they get to high school, and I'm like, I really don't know what I want to do. We don't need it. We just need to pick up the pace a little bit before getting steamrolled by information in high school. It's ridiculously instantaneous how it happens too. I mean, I remember in 8th grade, I was going to sail through high school. I didn't give a shit. I was the man. I was going to get through this. I was going to get a job. I was going to get a Nissan Skyline. And then in 9th grade, I was taken right down to earth. And I realized that that wasn't going to come as easy as I initially planned. And I might have been able to figure that out if I was told. And I wasn't. So why do kids hate going to school? They don't know why they should. Sure, they're hammered, beaten by society, beaten by the media, beaten by their fucking parents, beaten into the ground with the phrase, stay in school. Why should I stay in school? Give me one good reason. My screen went on screensaver again. If you don't give them that reason, they won't care. They won't want it, they'll neglect it, and they'll flunk. Believe me, because I've experienced it. I've experienced the bullshit of failing classes on the mere fact that I didn't care. I didn't give two shits about English class in 7th grade. Fuck that shit. And it wasn't really helping that my teacher was a complete bitch, but so I think school should be the same way that it always is, only 3 years shorter, and a little bit more fast-paced through the years. First 4 years, gradually getting faster. Those 2 middle years, a little bit of a jump, but still gradual. And then high school, well, another little jump, and then it kind of flatlines. And then, it's the easiest thing in the world. Because at that point, you would have been given the information. And why do I want kids to start at 8 and not 5? Why don't I want kids to get out of school at age 15? Why do I want them to still get out at age 18? Because at age 8, you're likely to have more of attention span than the length of Justin Bieber's fucking penis. Okay? You're going to be listening. You're going to be paying attention to the people that you love and respect. And you're going to be able to hear from them once and for all the facts, everything that they want to say, everything that you are told to know. And if you start so early where you don't care, you're going to grow up not caring. And when your parents do actually come back to you with this information, you don't care. Because you've grown up not caring. And that's why I think kids hate school. That's why I hated school. And now, I don't hate school now. I think it's really fucking tedious. It's tedious. It's so fucking tedious. But I don't hate it. It took a lot not to hate school. Because I did for a solid 7 years of my life. And then another 1 year after that year that I started lighting up on it. So thank you all so much for sitting through my rambling. And so stay in school. Now that you know why, you should.